help us reflect on how personal branding can help strengthen our corporate journey. All right, so we are so grateful to have you here. A musical interlude, please, and we'll get back to you shortly. Thank you.
Welcome to the Skills Hub co-working space. Let me show you around. First, let's sign in at the front desk. Remember, security is priority. Now that we have access, let's go in. Meet the Skills Hub associate here to make your experience exceptional. Check out our comfortable workstations and cozy seating areas. These shared workspaces are perfect for you and your team to work in collaborative harmony. Bored? We have just the thing, a mini library to refresh your mind and get your creative juices flowing. We also have private offices perfect for high-focused work. With your convenience in mind, we offer printing services to ensure you have everything you need for a productive day. Chill out and unwind between tasks at these comfortable and inviting seating areas. Have a special event coming up? Then don't look past this vibrant event space, complete with state-of-the-art sound system. This event space can be dynamically set up to suit any occasion. Lastly, our meeting room affords you a private and conducive environment to hold all your important meetings with the added choice of a smart TV and web camera. Not forgetting our high-speed internet, a standby power plant, and 24-hour security. The Skills Hub also offers special services and trainings including soft skills, curriculum development, digital skills, mentoring and coaching, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, job search skills, policy advocacy and engagement, youth sector development, among others. What are you waiting for? Come to the Skills Hub co-working space today. Welcome to the Skills Hub co-working space. Let me show you around. First, let's sign in at the front desk. Remember, security is priority. Now that we have access, let's go in. Meet the Skills Hub associate here to make your experience exceptional. Check out our comfortable workstations and cozy seating areas. These shared workspaces are perfect for you and your team to work in collaborative harmony. Bored? We have just the thing, a mini library to refresh your mind and get your creative juices flowing. We also have private offices perfect for high-focused work. With your convenience in mind, we offer printing services to ensure you have everything you need for a productive day. Chill out and unwind between tasks at these comfortable and inviting seating areas. Have a special event coming up? Then don't look past this vibrant event space, complete with state-of-the-art sound system. This event space can be dynamically set up to suit any occasion. Lastly, our meeting room affords you a private and conducive environment to hold all your important meetings with the added choice of a smart TV and web camera. Not forgetting our high-speed internet, a standby power plant, and 24-hour security. The Skills Hub also offers special services and trainings including soft skills, curriculum development, digital skills, mentoring and coaching, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, job search skills, policy advocacy and engagement, youth sector development, among others. What are you waiting for? Come to the Skills Hub co-working space today.
meeting rooms, private offices. So, and we run the other courses that were mentioned in the video. So, should you need our services, don't forget to get in touch with us. Thank you so much. So, we are about to start the whole conversation, and I have the singular honor to welcome the moderator of the day, who is in the person of Nathan Anale. So Nathan is the programs manager here at Toyota. He is passionate about youth development and conversations that are thought-provoking. He has the interest in it, just as the conversation we are about to have today. So please, with a round of applause, help me welcome Nathan as he comes to take over.
Hi, Constance.
Hi.
Good evening, everybody. It's good to have you guys here. And I'm happy to be moderating the session.
Sure. So, audience, your moderator. Moderator, your audience.
I
Thank
didn't
you.
think we were going to do that transition. Anyway, thank you. Thank you so much. And good evening once again to everybody. Welcome to the Skills Hub. Welcome to Toyota, Youth Opportunity and Transformation in Africa. I have the singular honor today to be in this seat, just facilitating this conversation. They call me a moderator, but I'm just a talkative, so please forgive me when I talk a lot. I have the pleasure today to introduce or talk about a very interesting conversation that we're going to have. At Toyota, we like to support a number of initiatives that support young people to grow, young people to develop, young people to make those steps that are very crucial in their own personal development. And today we have the very interesting conversation that is about the confidence code. The confidence code, we'll be talking about how we can use personal branding to advance our own careers. I'm sure we're all excited about advancing our personal careers, isn't it? How many of us want to grow? Okay. Let me see by hand. Let me see. Just three people. There are few people in front here. You don't want to advance in your personal career. Okay. Or you're shy to advance. Don't worry. You're like me. I'm also shy. So my hand is out. Right. Anyway, so that's the conversation we will be focused on today. And I have with me very seasoned panelists who are going to help us understand the topic of the day. So they're going to, share their experiences, going to be able to talk to the. So if you're excited to be here, let me hear you say, I'm excited to be here. Let me hear it. It's not loud enough. Okay, let's try one more time. I'm excited to be here. Great. Let's bring that energy. Great. So before we go into the conversation itself, and before I even introduce or invite my panel, who I can tell you have a lot to share, we're going to do a very interesting exercise. Very interesting exercise. So we want to understand where our minds are at about the topic that we are going to discuss today. So you would see Constance is bringing some QR codes. Just scan those QR codes for us. There is a poll all need to, take. And then we would see what we feel about the topic of the day. So if you can scan that QR code, in fact, including our wonderful panel, if you can also join this exercise, would be really grateful just to see where we are at on that. Constance, would we have it on the screen? Okay. So let me know, does everyone have the question up on their phones? Yeah. If you do, just tell us what you think. Right. Tell us what you think in the question that is there. I'll give you just 30 seconds to think about it. And let's start seeing the answers coming. Yes, I can see some results are already coming in. Interesting results. For those who've not been able to scan, the question is, which of these, in your opinion, has the greatest impact on career growth today? And there are some options there. So you don't want to miss out on the question. So just take your time and look at it. Which of these, in your opinion, has the greatest impact on career growth today? We have skills, we have confidence, we have personal brand, we have social connections, we have experience. And so far, just a few people have been able to give me their response. The clock is ticking. I'm going to close the poll very shortly. Everyone done? Awesome. Okay, so we would continue. I'll show the results of our poll up there. And before we delve into what the results are, let me also just take time to introduce our wonderful panel that we have here today. I'll read their profiles, and we know the kind of people that we have joining our conversation this evening. I'll start with Akosia Osei. And it's a pleasure that we have Akosia with us today. Akosia is a dynamic business development and tech sales professional with expertise in consultative selling, strategic partnerships, market penetration, and community building. Akosia was recognized as Africa's promising female entrepreneur by West Lion Coast Under 35 Awards. She has over 6 years of experience driving growth across leading tech firms. As the founder of B Tech Connected, so Akosia is also a founder of an organization, a tech company. Akosia leads a mission to bridge the gap between academia and industry, equipping over 1,000 youth with future-ready digital skills. And we all know how digital skills are very important in today's world. Akosia also curates Future of Work, an annual event preparing young Africans for global tech opportunities. She's a passionate entrepreneur and a knowledge sharer, so that's why she's here this evening to share her knowledge. Akosia also co-founded Startup Convos, a platform that democratizes startup education through conversations with founders and industry leaders, impacting more than 2,000 participants across Africa, not just Ghana, across Africa. So please, with a round of applause, can we introduce my first panelist, Akosia Osei, with a big round of applause, please. Let's give it up for her. Please, we can do it better. Good evening, Akosia. Great. And then I would introduce our second panelist, and this is interesting. Our second panelist is Delasi Dogbe, who is a consultant, a thought leader, an award-winning author with expertise in business development. The subject we are going to talk about today, personal branding, leadership and coaching, emotional intelligence, and a mental health advocate. Delasi serves as Director of Strategic Partnerships and Development at ICS Africa, leading innovation and growth through collaborations with leading organizations across the world. Delasi is a certified John C. Maxwell coach and a recipient of the 40 Under 40 and Ghana Innovation and Startup Awards. Delasi has authored 6 books. Wow, so we have a writer here. He's authored 6 books, shared 2,000 plus life stories, and facilitated 50 plus empowerment seminars across Africa. And I can assure you, when I met Delasi for the first 10 minutes, he was already poking into my life story. So you guys are going to have it very well here. Then through the ladies' war room and Ladies War Room Orator Club. He empowers women and emerging leaders to build confidence and lead with a purpose. Lassie is a dedicated Rotarian. He's a lead scribe for the Rotary District 9104 and president of Rotary Club of Accra, Legon. He's also a respected media consultant on radio and television. Please, let's give it a round of applause to Delassie. Give a round of applause to Delassie as he takes his seat. Interesting. Good evening, lady and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Got that for you, so you can turn it on. Yeah.
Good evening.
Yes. Good evening, Akusia. Good evening, Delassie.
Hi. Hello. I'm not feeling the energy. Thank God it's Friday. Today is the last Friday of November. We are still alive. Are you not alive? I heard somebody passed on just a few minutes ago. I didn't want to show up, but I value this brand. That's why I'm here. So if you're alive, it means that you are among the selected people. So the energy should be up.
Yep.
Okay? Energy. You dey feel the vibe? You dey feel Hi.
Great. Thank you so much, Delassie, for bringing that energy. Um, we're going to go back to our poll, and I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. Which of these, in your opinion, has the greatest impact on career growth today? Now, we gave the audience a set of options. So, skills, confidence, personal brand, social connections, and experience. And based on those who are polled, skills is at the top with 62%. The topic we're going to talk about is closely in second, not so close, but 23% of our audience think personal branding is the greatest, has a great impact on career. Confidence, 8%, and then experience is also there. Social connections, I think we all want to say that. You don't need to know anybody to grow in your career. Hey. Anyway, we'll delve into those conversations. But before I take my panel's opinion on this particular poll, does anyone in the audience want to share why they think this is trending or this is the trend? Anybody? You're going to be very interactive. That's why we are close to you today. Anyone in the audience wants to take the mic and share? I like pointing fingers, so I should call her, right? She's hiding her face. If you can pass the mic, just one particular thing. Why you think this is actually what's out there? What do you feel about that? No, no.
Okay. Thank you.
And while we are talking, confidence has dropped again for my tab.
Good evening, everyone. So, I think that today skills are very important uh, in the domain of work. So, if you don't have a good skills, you can't to grow. So, that's why skills is 62%. This is my opinion. But social connection is very important, but you don't, it's okay.
Please, when you take the mic, can you mention the name so we know who you are?
Hello everyone. I'm agree with my friends. For me, skills are very important, and social connection is important too. I don't know why. Me personally, I
You selected
select skills to
skills, okay.
experience. Yes, it's important. Confidence. Yes, very. You can't grow with, for me, confidence, but if you are not good skills, it's it's not. You have just confidence, but you can't do your work well.
Very well. Yeah. Thank you so much. Although you didn't mention your name, would you like to mention your name so we know you?
Tatiana Kofi.
Okay. Nice to meet you. And thank you for those insights. So I'll throw this back to my panel. So we've heard the audience, we've seen the poll. We're about to discuss a topic that says personal branding and mastering the confidence code and its personal branding. But when we look at the poll, um, personal branding doesn't stand out. What are your initial thoughts about this particular poll that has taken place? I'll start with Akosia, since you're close to me. There's a mic with you.
Okay, so good evening once again. I'd want to also thank you guys for giving me the platform to speak on this topic. First off, I think all these work hand in hand, but I'll go for skills. Skills because you can have the confidence, you can have a good personal brand, but if you can't deliver on the job, you are going nowhere. And it's a matter of time for people to start, should I say, not dislike, but they wouldn't trust you that you can deliver the job. So you can have all this, but I think skills is the topmost top. Because if you have good skills, not just good skills, but top skills, you just have to build your confidence very well. And then once you are delivering on the job, also your personal branding will be exposed because personal branding goes beyond just digital presence. It goes in your interaction with people, it goes with your values, your delivery on the job as well. So I would go for skills. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Delasi.
So looking at this poll, it tells me where your mind is right now.
Yeah.
What kind of people you are. So I'm curious. I want to find out, what do you do? That's the question I want to find out. So I just want to get a sample, what they do.
Okay. So I'll take one response from the audience. What do you
In terms
do?
of work,
Work,
academic,
professional,
anything. I just
background.
want to understand this sample better, or this poll better.
Anyone wants to?
Anybody? Yes.
Yes, there's a hand over there. Can you?
In the movie industry.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. So I've spent about almost 15 years in corporate Ghana. I've done telecom, media, insurance, banking, NGO, and all you can think about. The truth of the matter is that we need everything here to succeed. When you're talking to a typical salesperson, he might not have the skills, he might have the social connection. Do you know what social connection is? Let me tell a story. I remember sometime back around 2013, I was pushed to SIC Insurance. At that time, it was one of the biggest insurance companies in Ghana. They had done over 40 years in Ghana, and their brand was dropping. So they needed people who would come and transform the brand. So they pushed me from Ghana Telecom. When I joined SIC, their brand was down, and they needed somebody like me to bring up the brand. And we had people who were working very hard, extremely hard. When we started, I promised myself I will not sell third-party insurance because for me, it was a waste of my time. So I focused on the bigger business. 2 months, 3 months down the lane, my production was zero. And we'll go for production meeting and they'll be laughing at me. And somehow my boss had some form of confidence in me. I remember one Friday we went to Semis. Semis is a restaurant, shop bar around Asalam Down. I took my team there. We were enjoying some food on a Friday. And I got a call. I wanted to step out to pick my call, answer my call. I passed by somebody who was talking about performance bond. You know what performance bond is? If you're a contractor and before you get a contract, you need to bring some form of security. And the man was lost. He didn't know where to get performance bond. I went forward and did the reverse. And I said, Chief, I'm your man. We had a conversation and he found out I knew somebody who knew somebody. And so I'll give you the business. And just that day, my first business was 100,000 Ghana cedis. A business that should have taken a year to connect. Just one conversation because a mutual friend, that was how I got that. So what this poll is telling you is that we need everything. You can't do without social connection. I play golf. You know, I play golf. I exercise. I meet people who I might not meet randomly around. And that's the social connection. If something happened to you right now, who can you call? That's your social connection. And to be able to do what in your career, you need everything. And you know what the interesting thing? When you mix everything, the cocktail you get is your personal brand.
That's a good point.
When you mix everything, you need the skills because the skills is what to get you in there. The confidence will allow you to simmer in there and stay for some time. Your personal brand, what do they say about you? What do you say about yourself? Will keep you moving. Your social connection, when you're rising, you get to a point. There are times when you are very good with your craft, you are the best, but it takes a human being to say, give this chap an opportunity. And when you climb higher, that is when there's a conversation about Akosia. Akosia is skillful. She knows her job. But there's a but. I don't like Akosia because that person who has the opportunity to take the decision has not connected with you.
Yeah.
So you notice even in organizations, for those who are always on their own, they struggle to climb up. So that's where you need a social connection. And the experience keeps you up there. So to answer your question, you need everything here. But after we're done with personal branding, you understand why you need everything. That's why personal branding is a very important topic. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Delasi. I, yeah, let's give him a round of applause. I think I like how you touched on every bit of it, and then you use the word that it becomes a cocktail. We all love cocktails, right? So when you mix all of this, it becomes the perfect cocktail, and that cocktail is the personal brand. So it's a bit of all those things, your social connections, your confidence, your personal brand, your experience that moved on to that. I just want to, before we delve into the conversation proper, I know you started talking a little bit, and I'll give you some 2 minutes to just tell us about, you have an experience across leadership and coaching. You've talked about the experience with SIC, personal branding, and all of that. But what would you say are some of those early professional experiences that made you to chart this direction or influenced your direction to what you currently do?
Okay. So you remember we had a conversation about temperament.
Yeah.
Naturally, I'm a people's person. Naturally, I want to solve problems. I want people to talk to me for me to help them. So growing up, you find out I have a lot of people around me and they are sharing their stories. And I'm trying to advise them on how to solve their problems. And I grew up with a lot of women around me. In my house, my father was always busy. So I had my mom, my sister, my aunties, my grandmothers. They gave me the energy. And whatever I tell them, they listened. So out of that, I discovered that I have a connection with women. So what happens? So I'm here because of my connection with women, my ability for me to understand them to a point. Even God does not understand women, but I try to understand it to a point. Even God does not understand women. So my connection with women has brought me this far in whatever I do. So you find out that most of my programs, you find 90% women, or let's say typically you find about 100 women and one man, or 100 women, two men. So that has brought me here, storytelling, connecting with people, and it started at a very young age.
Yeah.
At some point, I missed it. I missed it because my focus was on, you get to a point in your life as a young person, you deviate, you peer pressure, all sort of things, but it's part of the journey.
Distractions and all of it.
The distractions, all part of the journey. So when I was younger, my connection with women was not positive. That was the days where we're clubbing and then the club owner will get you a table for you to bring all the nice women, and we thought we were living the life. You were dating a number of women and you thought you were living the life. So it got to a point one day I was listening to, I think, one motivational speaker, and what hit me was, what's the impact? It hit me so hard. So people who knew me as a youngster knew me as a very naughty person, in quotes. So that changed my direction into impact. Instead of being that person, why don't I be the one who impacts their lives? So I'm helping with, I have women empowerment seminars. So again, to the naughtiness helped me know how to deal with women. Do you get it? The naughtiness back in the day, the chilling, all those things was not waste. It helped
turning those mistakes into
turning those mistakes and all the lessons into real life. So when I'm talking to women about relationship, about confidence, about life, it hits the heart and the subconscious mind because I'm sharing real life experiences. And to be the best at what you do, you need to experience certain turns, left, right, forward turns to become best at what you do. So in summary, I got here because of my experiences. Let me tell you a story. I worked in Vodafone. And there was this time, that was the time when we were trying to swap SIMs. So we did a late hour. And then some of us will work till 12. And then I got curious about the call center thing. So I decided when everybody's sleeping, I'm going to, receive calls. And I noticed that there were a lot of people who wanted to talk about SIM cards. But when they finished, they had personal problems. And that's where I also discovered my calling to help people. And my boss realized that the last thing, normally around 12, the calls will not come back. They've noticed that there's a lot of calls coming through. That's when they noticed that, okay, there was some added value. There was a relation counseling going on. There was a life coaching going on. And that also activated what I wanted to do in life. And has brought me here.
We will come to a bit of that you just talked about, but of course you've touched on your background.
Sorry, today we are going to be very honest. Okay. So if you are not honest, bye-bye. I love honest conversation, real life conversations.
Definitely, we would like to share those experiences that I felt. So you've talked about your background influencing your career decision, your path, what you do today. You've talked about even the fact that your family, how you were brought up, and all of those things. So that began to even influence the direction that you went to. It even gave you some of the arsenal that you needed to deal with the problems that you encountered. Let me take a bit from Akusia, and also just take that memory trip backwards, so maybe our audience can understand the start for you. What would you say? What are some of those early life experiences? Those experiences your younger self that would have shaped who you are today professionally?
Okay, so for me, it's a bit of a balance because some part of my younger self wouldn't see me doing this. But also some part of my younger self influenced my career journey, which is sales. So I remember as far back when I was very young, I used to sell, not because I needed the money, but for the fun of it. So a friend of mine, I remember in our primary school, we sell pens. The dad will give her pens and we'll be selling the pens. Way back to sometimes we tie like needle and rubber and we're selling. And I got to the university and I did some form of connection with my auntie, which my mom didn't know. I told her that she should be shipping perfumes and I'll be selling. So, and I realized it was easy for me to do. And even some point in church, I realized that I could sell the church books, not because I had learned sales, but out of that interest to want to serve in a church, I decided to join that department. So we'll go to the mall and we'll go and sell. And at that time, I was at the university. And some people asked, do you work as a salesperson? Can you work with us? And I didn't know why they were saying that because naturally I could convince people to buy. And I mean, if I want to convince you, I'll convince you. So those are some of the things that I noticed shape my career path. So at the university, I did biochemistry, cell and molecular biology. So when I came out of school, I didn't want to branch into biochemistry. I pursued biochemistry because then I thought I wanted to be a doctor. So I chose medicine, but I didn't get medicine. Legon gave me biochemistry. So my uncle convinced me to go and do biochemistry. It was very tough. Yeah, so after right in school, because at the university, I wasn't just focused on my books. I mean, I was very daring at the university. I wouldn't advise people to take that level of risks that I took because out in life, I failed in some of my courses, which I had to risk it. But so because I had a divided attention and I wasn't just focusing on my books and doing all other stuff, it was affecting my academics. So that's not something I advise people to do. I mean, you can be daring, but take reasonable risks, if I should say so. Yeah. So after the university, because I had started selling, I knew that I had found interest in business because I learned how to communicate with people, to transact and all that. So after school, when I wanted to start working, I was looking for opportunities where my skills could play because I started early enough by trying to explore other things I can do. So I started working with my first job was with an NGO, but it was with a tech organization. And my role was business development. I mean, I got that job, should I say, very easy, where the CEO entered into my LinkedIn DM and asked if I wanted to work with them. And she was like, it's business development. And I was very sincere. I mean, I told her I don't even know what business development is. But she told me to come over to her office. And I went and I had to learn on the job, which was very tough because this was an organization that they were working with international partners. And my role needed me to interface with those people too. So then I'd learned some form of people facing and all that, but I had to take it to another level because these are people funding the organization. They were very credible institutions, which I wouldn't want to mention. So there too, I honed my skills. So when I was transitioning from that job, I knew sales is something I could do, but I didn't like the tag as a salesperson. And so I was like, okay, let me go deep into business development because it looks more polished.
Uh, so let me just hold a thought there, and sorry, I'm
That's fine.
interrupting, but something must have drawn that CEO into your LinkedIn DM.
Right.
And when we're talking about personal branding, what do you think, in your own thought, in your quiet time, your own space, what drew you there? What do you think drew that CEO into your DM? What did you do? Because I know a lot of, how many of us have LinkedIn profiles? How many? And we like to post a lot. The things we didn't do, Seth, we say we did. But what do you think would have drawn that CEO into your DM
Okay,
from a
then,
branding perspective?
yes, then with my LinkedIn profile, I don't think it was my LinkedIn profile. I was very strategic with people I was connecting with on LinkedIn. For her in particular, I saw her more like a role model because she was young, she was in her 20s and she was doing amazing things with her organization. And because I'm also ambitious, I felt like I could follow her journey. So what I was doing is when she makes a post, I comment. When she comments on people's posts, I go and respond and comment. So I think she had noticed that I was consistently engaging with her profile. So that drew attention for her to get into my DM to even ask if I would want to. And I think there was one time she had opened up to say she wants to meet young people who want to learn from her. And I actually sent her a message that I commented under the post, I wish to meet her in person, that I take inspiration. So that was what I was doing. Because again, I mentioned that my other self wouldn't have been doing this now because I was very shy.
Yeah.
And I always keep to myself and I'll be at the corner.
Yeah.
But it's funny, how can you be doing sales and coverage?
Yeah.
I mean, but when it got to those instances where I had to man up, I do. So maybe people will say that's your alter ego or something. But when it gets naturally as a person, you won't find me being so vocal on even socials and things. So I think that's where I enjoy talking when it comes to personal branding because people have that perception that I have to be loud on socials. I need to post consistently every day, which I mean, it has the good side of it. You have to. But if you are someone that should I say, um, your persona or who you are doesn't allow you to be that vocal on socials, how then do you bag opportunities? There are other ways that you can, which I believe as the conversation goes, so I could speak to it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting, some of the things you said. The two key things you talked about: connecting with people, and then the right people, and then also having the confidence. And then we did our poll, and then you realize how low confidence was. But then there was a confidence to interact with CEOs, comment on their posts, even sometimes tag them in some of your posts and all of that. The last year, I would like to pick your thoughts on how confidence and personal branding are linked, right? in our fears. I don't know if everybody's familiar with this term. Those who like to talk, those who are vocal, those who are always posting, they brand them as too known people. Or you're too known, he's too known, that kind of thing. How do we merge confidence and personal branding and just trying to project yourself like Akusia did?
Yes. Confidence is the driver for your personal brand. You can't go forward in life if you don't have that confidence. You might have the skill, the abilities, but unfortunately, in this world, your ability to express it is very important. Whether we like it or not, we're hypocrites. And we rather like to see people who are vocal about what they have than people who just move around and not share what they have. So that confidence opens the door for you. So, for example, you go for an interview, it's the confidence that opens that door for you. And then the skills will follow after. So I always tell people that the confidence is very important, but you need to master your craft. You need to master consistency. You need to master your purpose. So they never work in isolation, they work together. Remember, I know people who will come and speak, but when you go deeper, there's nothing there. Unfortunately, the people who will give you that big opportunity, they've mastered the art of knowing who you are.
Yeah.
They've mastered the art of seeing beyond that confidence. You notice you go for a program and you see this lady or this gentleman walking with all the confidence. I've seen it too many times. They show you all the confidence in the world, and you go deeper. You ask questions, and then you find out that no, there's an empty space there. You find out that there's an emotional baggage in there. Some people, the confidence they show is an emotional baggage. How many of us know emotional baggage? So emotional baggage, when it comes to personal brand, is very important. Emotional baggage is that child within you from the past. I tell people, as soon as you're born, you experience the world. And depending on how you deal with your problems, that is stuck with you forever. So emotional baggage is also known as trauma. For example, I ran a master class for public speaking and confidence building. And I've noticed that the reason why people are afraid is because of their emotional baggages. They went to speak somewhere and somebody said, "You are terrible."
Yeah.
And it stays with them forever. Even with the way they feel about themselves,
Yeah.
they are judged.
Yeah.
So there are two kinds of people who will show confidence because they want to show you energy before you get to know them. But without the skills, without the connection, without without your personal brand, without the experience, the confidence will not take you far. So it is an element in personal branding. As I said, personal branding is a cocktail. You can be very confident and not go far. You can be very consistent and not be exposed. So you can have the skills and not go far. You get to a point. So in summary, confidence is an important aspect of expressing who you are in terms of your personal brand. It is not in isolation.
Fantastic. So let me just take it a bit further from where you paused. So for someone who is looking to throw themselves out there, get noticed, build a personal brand, expose themselves to the professional world and all of that, what are those practical things that demonstrate confidence? Some examples, practically.
So I tell people that whatever you do, master your craft. When you master your craft, the confidence comes naturally. I tell people that when you ask me to talk about chemistry, I might flop.
Yeah.
I might be saying
Yeah.
But when you ask me to talk about life, talk about things that I've experienced, I'm going to flow.
Yeah.
So I tell people that you need to master your art. You need to learn the skills. That's very important. You need to get to know yourself. A lot of people are walking around and they don't know who they are. So other people will judge you easily. If you tell me I have a big nose, hey, I know. I have a big nose and I'm fine.
Yeah.
If you told me I have big eyes, yes, I know.
Yeah.
Because I've gone through the process of knowing myself. I've gone through the process of connecting with my childhood and working on my traumas. I tell people that If you don't get to know yourself, your brand at some point will drop. That's when there's some form of once there's an issue, your personal brand is in trouble. If you know yourself and you know what you are doing, when there are challenges, you still know how to navigate yourself around for your personal brand to continue. And again, being consistent is very important.
Yeah.
I always tell people that don't build a personal brand based on likes. I tell people, don't like me, I beg you, I will disappoint you. Don't love me, I will disappoint you. But value me. Don't what? Love me. Don't like me, but do what? Value me. It is very important. And it's important to know the purpose behind the brand.
Great.
I've met a lot of people who have a personal brand because they want to impress the world. They don't last. Those people don't last. Most of the people who survive over a period of time are those who are consistent and have a purpose behind the brand. They have a goal behind the brand. When I talk to people, I tell people that I talk to people based on one fact. I want to impact just one person. I speak at conferences where there are a lot of people, but my job is not to go and get applause. Whether you clap for me or not, have I connected with that one
Have you
person?
done your job?
That is it. That one person who one day said, Delasi, because of you, I'm who I am now.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you, Delasi. Thank you. I think you've touched on three key things. I was making notes of that. You've talked about the ability to express yourself, right? Vocalizing what you're worth. But before you can do all of that, you need to know yourself, know what you're strong at. If you're not a chemistry person, you're not selling a brand that communicates chemistry because you will communicate wrongly. But if you're someone who can talk, then you are pursuing a career in communication and you are practicing it and you are getting better at it. Let me pick your thoughts, Akusia. Just from where Delasi ended, and in your career, you are someone who's done business development, you've done tech. There's now an emerging era of AI. Social media is very powerful and all of that. These two tools, that's the AI, artificial intelligence, and social media, how useful are they for personal branding? And how can young professional make the best out of this?
Okay, I think with the advent of AI, there's a lot you can do. I mean, it's for me, I see AI as a tool for learning. And so if we want to unpack personal branding, there are so many facets to personal branding. The last mentioned that there has to be a purpose behind your brand. So when you're on socials, you want people to know you for a particular thing. Let me use myself as a case study. Over time, I realized that my brand was formed not because I was focused to say I'm building a personal brand, but people got to know me for a particular thing.
Yeah.
People got to know me for helping young people in tech. So I ran this social enterprise called Be Tech Connected, and we came up with a flagship event called Future of Work. And that event was built out of social capital. So that's where connection. I'm not diverse. I'm trying to tell a story so that you guys understand. That is where social capital came in place, where everything about the events, from speakers to having to secure a place and everything, there was some form of social capital involved.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I didn't have much money to organize such an event,
Yeah.
but I could rely on my social capital to make it happen. And afterwards, people were looking for it to it. So now, out of that event, people wanted to know who is the governor. I mean, together with my team, we did it. But now, when conversations about future work comes up, would they want to speak to?
Yeah.
I get people reaching out to me. Can you? I think that was early this year. Constance even reached out to me that he had a future work conversation. She needed, but I was not available. So that's one way that my personal brand was formed in the minds of people. Again, I started hosting a conversation on Twitter called Startup Convos. And basically what I was doing is I was leveraging on my social capital where I knew or I know entrepreneurs and industry leaders. So I tell them that I know a lot of young people want to get into entrepreneurship, but on the usual, you might message Delasi, and it's not that he doesn't want to respond, sorry, but he might not get the time to respond. So I know Delasi. When I text Delasi will respond to me because there's some form of connection already. So it wouldn't take forever for him to respond. So I told the lassie, can we hold a live conversation where we talk about entrepreneurship? Share from your personal experience.
Yeah.
And that was how I built my influence on Twitter as well.
Mm.
I didn't have 1,000 followers. Even now, I don't have 1,000 followers. But I can tell that out of one conversation, I've had like 1,000 audience on that conversation. Live for 1 hour plus. Because I had Delasi on, who probably a lot of people know Delasi. So
Delasi.
I'm leveraging
Yeah.
on Delasi's brand
Yeah.
to get the conversation out there. And what am I using? I'm using tech. I mean, Twitter at the comfort of my home. You can tell chats. I mean, tell me about myself. Have conversation with, give chat prompts. Chat will tell you about yourself in a few. You can even write an entire book from chat.
Yeah.
I know people who have literally wrote an entire book
Yeah.
from chat and they've published. It might look illegal,
Yeah.
but they are still leveraging on tech
Yeah.
to build themselves out. You can literally curate your own voice using an AI tool
Yeah.
where you give the tool a prompt and say that I want to talk about topic X. Can you give me pointers to what I should focus on?
Yeah.
Or could you act as Akosia and talk about it? People do that. So you create your own voice. People are running, they are building their brand out of AI tools by
Yeah.
sending prompt to tools and then they are curating their slides for them. Recently, I had a presentation to do and it was a short time. So I had to create slides. I just went to Gamma X and I said, please, I'm going to speak at blah blah blah. Put a slide together for me. Within like 30 minutes, it was ready. All I had to do was to just look at it, add a couple of things, and also go through the slides to be abreast with it. So that's how AI tool is helping in our brand. AI can either work for you or work against you. I believe AI will take the jobs of people who are not leveraging it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna take everybody's job. With someone who is very good at his or her job, and the person adds AI, it's a plus. You become super. But then if you're not going with the times and you think, oh, me, I don't want to do AI. I want to write from my head. It's good, but it's a tool for us to leverage on for growth. Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It's a tool for us to leverage on growth. Are we enjoying the conversation? Are we enjoying the conversation? If we are, the way you're responding is like you're not enjoying I'm going to start asking questions so that I'll see if you're enjoying the conversation. Anyway, thank you so much, Delasi. Thank you, Akosia, so far for the conversations. You talked about something that you when you were making your just ended submission about even building a personal brand would would also mean leveraging on another person's brand. Right. So, for example, you know that this person is good in this space. You want to convene an event, but you now, your brand can bring 1,000 people, but you need 1,000 people. So, you are leveraging on another person's brand. How is that a useful approach? How does that influence originality? I would like to hear what your take is on that, Delasi, and then maybe I can take a bit of that. So, how does that influence originality? Leveraging on someone else's brand to build your own personal brand.
That's a very powerful point there.
Yeah.
And it's a game changer.
Mm.
So when I started my coaching journey, there were people like Dr. Charles Bachman, there were people like Richard Akita who were already there and doing well. And for them, they were also looking for a young blood, somebody who brought a different energy.
Yeah.
At the time we started, that's 12 years thereabout, different energy. So that's where the connection comes. The experience and the youthful energy.
Yeah.
That's how it works. And I always tell people that when you're building your personal brand, you need to build value. Start from where you are, but you need to build value where people will look for you. So I remember the first day I connected with Dr. Richard Akita. He was supposed to speak at the program somewhere at Africa Regent. I went there and got there very early. And when I got there, he also came early. I said, hi, my name is Delasi, and I love the things you do. I had my book with me. I said, this is my book. And he looked at it and said, wow, wow, wow. He just kept saying, wow, 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 wow. By the time the program was over, we had built a connection. And what I discovered was that there were certain things he did that were fantastic. By my mind, I said he could have done it better.
Yeah.
And for him as well, he also agreed that there are certain things I do because he's been following me without me knowing that will help us connect. And we connected and organized a program, and it was massive. And that is you see, what you see in that program, the originality, my world and his world.
Yeah.
So the next thing that happened was when he's having a program, the last year I have a program, what's all?
Yeah.
So bring the energy.
Yeah.
And I also learned some stuff from him.
Yeah.
So that's picking my steps in the coaching world.
Mm.
Because I learned some things from him. Okay, this is how to do it. So for me, that is the game changer. These days, social media is very powerful. Even a single picture you take with somebody. So, oh, wow, oh, you know the last, oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
You know Akosia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
then the person starts thinking in
Taking
their
you
head.
seriously just
Yes,
because you
oh,
took a picture with someone. Yeah.
I was in Brussels recently, and the way I posted that picture, Charlie, some swag, and I was with, some very powerful personalities. So I got certain people in Ghana reaching out. So the last, can we do a program
Yeah.
next year?
Yeah.
So I'll think about it. But they be me.
You need the program.
I need it. And that's how the game is now.
Yeah.
You can't sit on social media and just be posting anything. You need to be intentional. You need to tell your own. Personal brand is now about telling your own story. And the good thing about personal brand is that nobody expects you to be perfect these days. Back in the days, you tell your story and then you dress and you look serious.
Yeah.
These days, nobody wants to connect with somebody who looks perfect. So when I was sharing my story, I told you where I started from, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of people will relate to that story and know that, okay, you came from somewhere. You used to be like this and now you are like this.
Mm.
So that's what personal brand is all about. And that's how important it is to leverage on use your social connections. And she did a fine thing there. And please write a book. I'm telling you, write a book and share those things with young people. For me, you can't learn those things from any university. This is the real deal.
Yeah.
And it's helped me. I know a lot of people because of that.
Yeah.
So you have to be smart. Remember, what is your purpose? The purpose is not to generate likes. I started doing this thing on Facebook where I share real life stories, relationship. My friends will share. That's how I started. Even the way it started was, let me tell you how it started. I went to visit a friend at the Crown Psychiatric Hospital, a very good friend. And that time, mental health wasn't in it. We didn't really talk about mental health. When we spoke mental health, about somebody who is dirty. So for most of our mental health was far away from us.
Yeah.
And I went and saw this friend, my very good friend, who together in school were star boys. He went to Adisado, I went to Akosombo, and were popular. The plan was to do great things. And now he went to the UK, got deported, and that's where he found himself.
Mm.
It hit me hard. Then just next door was this man who was around 60 something, and the parents who were in their 80s were with him and they were feeding him KFC, mental health. Then out of curiosity, I asked, oh, can I go to the female ward? I'm a very curious person. And I found a lady there. And the lady had gone off. And I asked, what brought her here? Relationship. She got some opportunity to travel, and then the boy gave it to the boyfriend, and then the boyfriend got to the UK. Oh, when am I joining? When am I joining? That long story. So one day she decided I'm going to look for him. Well, they found that there was another woman there with a baby, and her mind could not relate.
Yeah.
Her mind could not, understand. And then boom, the next thing, she was walking the street of London. She was brought back to Ghana. And then I posted the story. A lot of people reached out to me.
Yeah.
And then people started sharing their stories. And every day I just share my stories. And one day I went for a business meeting. And it was supposed to be a serious meeting. So the relationship bit was, in life, in this part of the world, take relationship as just joke. Oh, you are not serious. Relationship, you are not serious. But do you know what that post did for my career, my business life?
Yeah.
Whenever I go and speak to people, so is that your story? So Chief, let's talk about the business. Oh, that story. How did the end?
Yeah.
Just by posting, I didn't want likes. I just wanted to share a story. And then that transformed how people saw me. So you see different people in different levels sharing their story. They're like, listen to my story. They're like, can I talk to you? And it's the power of social media, the power of branding.
Yeah.
So automatically, I didn't want to do relationship issues. But then I fell into that.
Your curiosity.
And I got a call from Joy Prime. oh, it's going to talk about relationship. And I started,
Yeah.
and that's how personal branding is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's a. Can we please give our panelists a very big round of applause so far? Um, I told you that we're going to have conversations that are real, and we're getting that. But at this juncture, let me bring the audience into the conversation. Let me bring the audience back into the conversation. And there's a second poll that we are going to take. I don't know if the tech team can help us get that second poll that we are going to take. Just scan the QR code. You'd see the question, and then you respond to it. This time, I want everyone to have a go at it, and then our seasoned panelists can help us around that. Is it going to show on the screen? The tech team, can you help us get it on the screen? Please just take 30 seconds to respond to the next question. In your opinion, which factor would you say holds people back the most in building their personal brand? The same question? All right. Let me refresh from here. Constance, can you help me figure this out? Because on my screen, yes, we have it. So now you can see it. So if you go onto your phones, you should have it. In your opinion, which factor would you say holds people back the most in building their personal brand? The clock is ticking. I want to see the answers coming. Same on your phones. Can you change it there? Because on my tab it's already gone. Do we have it now? Can you scan? But then again, if we're not getting it up, I'll throw the question to audience. Yes, I'll do it. If the digital technology is failing me, the physical technology wouldn't. It's still the same? All right, great. So who wants to have a go at this question? Anyone in the audience that wants to? You want him to try? Yeah, he's been videoing a lot. All right.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Rene Amping. I am the digital marketer at Chinan Africa. Okay, all right. So, in your opinion, which factor would you say holds people back in most in building personal brand? I will say fear of judgment. That is my personal opinion. Exactly. Fear of judgment. I believe that fear is a great barrier to express even your skills, your your stories. You have to be I mean, you have to be void of fear to express your stories. And fear is a great barrier for me, I think. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else wanted to try? Anyone else wants to try?
The one in the glasses, she's standing. Behind black.
Yeah. I think, yeah, she wants to have a go. Anyone wants to take it? Let's hear a lady. Let's hear a lady. Yes.
Yes, so for me, yes, I think that it will be fear of judgment as well, which comes from one self-doubt and then two wanting to be perfect. So in a case where you have what it takes, but then you feel you think that it's not perfect or it's not there yet, then you are very scared to show it to someone because the person would see what you see as the loopholes you see in your own work. The person is likely to see the same thing in it. So you are just scared, or you doubt yourself so much that you don't want another person to also see the wrong in your work.
Thank you so much. I'm tempted to take another comment. I'm tempted to take yes.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Deborah. I think I'll go with what he said, but I'll add not knowing where to start because based on what she said, she was able to guide us. I think you made her to break it down as to how she got the linking direction. So sometimes where to start? if you don't know what to do, you can be on LinkedIn forever, and your profile will just be vague. Nothing is going to work there. So if you know who to direct you, you know that this is exactly what where you should start, what you should say, and even how to go about it. Because I believe that when she started following her, she noticed a certain pattern. She didn't just leave it there. She was able to follow up. The lady was also able to respond to it. But the issue is sometimes she can equally pull back out of fear, lack of confidence. When the lady reached out to her, she can be like, "Hey, am I safe? What am I going to write?" And sometimes our Gen Zs, are you here? Sometimes my junior brother will be like, and like, and the like, and some of these sentences kind of it doesn't really express what you want to say. So if you know where to start, where to go, I think it will help a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I think our audience have set the tone for us. I'll start with you, Akusia. Your feelings on this?
Can I touch on the question you asked
Yeah.
us for this
Yes.
concerning leverage on people's
Yes, you can.
personal
Sure.
brand?
Just
I
yeah.
think one thing that we have to also notice is the fact that personal branding goes beyond just digital presence. Your connections with people speaks a lot. For instance, for me, I always say I don't have a solid digital presence, and my friends really bash me for that because they go like, I'm always speaking at places, doing things, but I don't even post about it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to offline, there are people that can speak for me in rooms. I've had so many opportunities. I mean, my first international gig was through a recommendation from a mentor where he had to take the job, but because he doesn't have the time, he was like, I'm recommending MNT.
Yeah.
And they gave me the job not because I had that level of qualification, but because my mentor vouched for me.
Yeah.
And that is because offline, I've built that, should I say,
That brand.
reputation
Yeah.
where people trust me for my
Yeah.
job. So even at instances where there's an opportunity that personally I'm doubting myself, my circle of friends will go like, bro, you have to go for this because
Yeah.
you did something like this in the past. It's similar. So we have to also build that relationship amongst ourselves, not just the vertical kind of,
Mm-hmm.
influence where if it's coming from Delasi, I'll do it excellent.
Yeah.
But if it's coming from Akosia, that is my mate,
Yeah.
I'll do it anyhow.
Yeah.
Trust me, those people can speak for you in rooms as well because
Yeah.
they would also be somewhere saying that, oh, I have a friend, or they can be working on organizations that be recommending you because they know you can do an excellent job. So that's another thing we have to know, that before you can leverage on people's brand, they should believe you. They should
Yeah.
know that you can deliver. So maybe on social, you may not be everywhere, but amongst people, they know you for your job. So sometimes I remember one time I was called to speak, and after the whole section, the host was like, underrated you when it was recommended. I mean, I told him that I didn't see that as a compliment though,
Yeah.
because on socials I'm not loud. So maybe when he checked on my socials, he didn't see me posting a lot of
Yeah.
things and all that. But so the conversation was like, no, you are solid.
You know your stuff.
And that's one thing that we have to also build in terms of personal branding, where it's your promise. So if I'm to meet Kojo today, what is Kojo leaving with me?
Yeah.
Which goes beyond just being online. And um yes, I mean their online presence is excellent. Trust me. For me, I'm not even proud of myself when it comes to that angle. We have to do that job. You have to put your work out there. You have to post if you have to have a voice. But make sure that as you are doing that too, offline, people should trust you for your job. You shouldn't be like what Selassie is saying. You can meet some people for the first time, they'll wow you. But through conversations, you
You just
realize that
realize that they are not deep.
they are not deep,
They are
like
not
you are
deep. Yeah.
lacking something. And even goes in job interviews. I mean, I've had the opportunity to sit on interview panels, and someone has a very beautiful CV.
Mm.
Trust me, you will love the CV. I want to interview this particular person. But you start asking questions and you realize that no, AI has not like
No, but Akusia, to be fair, you said we should use AI.
please, yes, use AI, but when you realize that
I'm joking.
the
Yeah.
people are not that deep. And
Yeah.
and that's where like a lot of Gen Zs lack.
Yeah.
where they are so good because I mean their internet service, like they are
Yeah.
tech when it comes to the tech aspects, they can do things. But when you are working with them or you interview them, you realize that there are so many things they are lacking
Yeah.
and they don't want to also listen. I mean, they are my best friends though.
No, I think I'll stay on that conversation. I know we want to chat about this, but
Okay.
you've just touched on something which is really interesting, and maybe I'll let Delasi take it from there. Is that so? What you've described is something that we talk about, that authenticity versus what is performative, right? Performative branding. People just put out an attitude out there. Let's talk about it. Usually people will be like, this is who I am. That's the CV. But when you give them the job, Charlie, you have to do the job yourself, right? How do you balance this? Because you actually do need to get a good CV to get into the interview room. But then you need to do the job too. So how do we that kind of authenticity versus what is performative out there? I'd like to hear a few on that.
Yes. So, from experience, when you fake it to make it, it will last for a short period. But I know people have faked it and they're making it. Do you know why? They mastered the craft. When you use that AI for your CV, make time to go through, look for personal examples. So when I was in so and so, I did this at least
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
You understand? But don't just go and use AI and they come and dump it. And people are way smarter than that. So what it means is that you can fake it, but in the process of faking it, master the art. Now there's a lot of information. So make sure you learn. There's always the opportunity to learn. There's YouTube, there are people you can listen to, you can practice. And once you practice, then you expand that lifespan for yourself when it comes to your personal brand. A lot of things we started, we didn't know jack about it. But we kept going. We kept going, and then the consistency. When you are speaking to something, go and learn about it. What I do is that when I have a program and I feel the topic is a bit dicey, I call a number of people and ask, what do you think about this? What do you think? So different perspectives. When I'm talking with them. Because
Yeah.
who are you to tell me that what I'm saying is wrong? When I was speaking to experts, and I make sure I practice. You understand? You're a public
Yeah.
speaker, and you need to speak to people about a topic. Research. When you research, try and find the practicality around it. So I tell people that you can fake it, but make sure to make it you are consistent. How are you consistent? Knowledge, wisdom. Add it to your craft. Because at the end of the day, you'll be exposed. There are a lot of people who have come to our systems and don't last
Yeah.
because we're faking it. If you don't have a car and you are showing on social media that you have a car, you will be exposed, whether you like it or not. Yes, I believe in showbiz. I believe in entertainment. But it gets to a point where try and narrow that gap by working harder at your craft.
Yeah.
Some of these musicians and the people we see around have been blessed to see how they started. Some of them, they were faking it. So when they're coming, Charlie, they're pushing the car. It's not starting. But poco, they worked on their craft. Go one car, next car. They are doing well.
Mm.
And we should use a lot of emotional intelligence in whatever we do. When we are doing things, analyze other people, analyze yourself,
Yeah.
analyze your audience.
Yeah.
I do a lot of analysis when it comes to my audience. Who am I connecting with? What kind of information am I sharing with them? So that is the key.
Great.
To be consistent, build your knowledge and build your skills. That's the only thing
Great.
that will keep you from floating.
Great. Thank you so much, Delasi. Thank you. Let me just acknowledge my online audience. We're streaming live on Facebook. And some of them are also picking up on some of the comments that my able panelists are making. So someone has said, confidence is very important, but you need to master your craft, master consistency. In fact, they actually quoted Delasi for saying that there's also one that talks about you can be daring, but take reasonable risks. Akosia, you told us that we can be daring, but take reasonable risks. And I'm going to use that to feed into our next question. So we've talked about the branding of putting yourself out there, you know, being confident, taking the giant leap, be daring. But are there also times where your personal brands, you probably have to tone down a little bit to fit in? So, for example, you are this seasoned person like the last years or Kosia is, but you go into a room and you need to, because of your personal brand, you probably even need to take it easy so that it projects. I don't know if you get that kind of question I'm trying to. At some point where you don't have to even show who you are, so that it projects your brand. Would you want to?
Yes,
Yes,
Cedric.
yes.
So looking at my 15 years
Yeah.
span with my personal brand, I've changed a lot. When I started, I used to be very aggressive. You see me here, you see me there. I get to a
Exactly.
point that the system will
Calm you.
calm you down. You go to places you are dancing, see, you are dancing. Hello, oh, Mr. Delasi, hi. He'll say hi. You know, and you can't be who you want to
Yeah.
be. But I
Yeah.
tell people that apply emotional intelligence. So
Yeah.
you should know where to go and be a particular person.
Yeah.
It's not that you are pretending. One of the things my father used to tell me that, the Bremen pastors,
Mm,
they drink beer,
mm.
but they don't drink beer in front of everybody. It's not that beer is bad or good, but they can't
They
drink.
can't let any. Yeah.
It's emotional
Yeah.
intelligence. Know where to play, what kind of game you play,
Yeah.
because you are communicating something to people.
Yeah.
And especially for young people,
Yeah.
they take everything.
Mm,
For mature people, they will take the good and then, work with the bad,
yeah.
work on it. But for young people, oh, you are like this. So I have to be, no, 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 no.
Mm,
So to answer your question, yes, there are times when you need to tone down,
mm,
and that involves emotional intelligence.
mm,
Understanding that you are different from the next person.
mm.
The way the person will perceive you is different.
Fantastic.
So you have to be intentional in what you communicate.
Yeah.
So the whole brand, personal brand thing is a whole system, it's a whole structure. My friends who know Delasi, they know me in a different way because that's my inner circle. Not everybody is blessed to be in my inner circle
Yeah.
because I give you, it's not that I'm faking it, but I'm giving a particular information that will help you. But in my inner circle, we are basically the same. We understand how life works. So, yes, you need to be intentional in projecting your personal brand. You can't have a personal brand and then you're posting something on social media. So now I know what people do is that they block some people from seeing certain things. It's part of the personal brand. Yes. You have
Their WhatsApp
your
status. There are
post or
some
your
people.
WhatsApp and
Yeah.
you're posting something. Are you serious? If you are my subordinate and you do that, I'll punish you. Apply emotional intelligence. Don't show
Yeah.
us everything.
Yeah.
If there are certain things you want to show some people, show them.
Mm,
The other things you want to show other people, show them.
mm.
And that's what technology does to you.
Yeah.
It makes the work easy for you. So when you are there, you are telling yourself you can't build your personal brand. You are suffering.
Yeah.
You have to learn.
Yeah.
When there are some sports people, when they play, they have a different personality. When they're off the
Of the
field,
field.
there are
Different.
people I know. I say, Chief, are you the same person?
Yeah.
Because on stage, he's performing. But when you meet him, he's just like that. Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
He's just
That's the
calm.
branding.
But when they come, I tell people that personal brand is like acting.
Mm.
So some of us watch movies and then like he says, hey, what's he doing? He's acting. She's acting. It might not be like that in real life. But there's sometimes the problem that comes about is if you can't differentiate your personal brand.
Yeah.
If you can't differentiate it,
Yeah.
you can't tell yourself this is the corporate bit and this is
Yeah.
that bit.
Yeah.
So the channels scramble and they
Yeah.
mix.
Yeah.
That's when you find out people are in trouble with who they are.
Yeah.
And again, while building your brand, your personal brand, you need to be sure what you are communicating in your head. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? What are you communicating? And what are other people telling you?
Yeah.
Because outside influence can also affect who you become. Some people are very quiet because of what their fans want. I notice certain artists, they're very calm, but because of their fans, like, if I don't know this, they'll say, so because of that, he also, and he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Then he'll go back and say, oh, daddy, I beg, daddy, I beg, daddy, I beg. It's not like that. I didn't mention
Let,
anybody's
let,
name.
let me bring Akosia into the conversation. Thank you so much, Delasi. Let me bring Akosia into the conversation quickly. And then the audience, after Akosia speaks, I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask questions. So start preparing questions that you might want to ask. So Akosia, we've just transitioning from what Delasi was talking about, and you've talked about being on interview panels and all of those things. sometimes what's the advice practically, right? How can young people build a brand that is authentic rather than the substance, right? So you see it on face value, oh, it looks nice, but give the person the job, then Charlie trouble come. There's this funny thing on social media where there's a guy who says he's good at the job. They put him behind a computer. He says he speaks French and he's sweating profusely. So how can young people who are trying to make that leap in a professional environment, how can they communicate, that authenticity rather than something that is performative?
Okay. I think a lot of young people take inspirations on online. They have certain people they are looking up to, which is perfect. But you should also understand your journey. And at every point in time, whoever you look up to also has a journey or started from somewhere.
Yeah.
So if you are someone right out of school, don't and you are looking forward to the last, you don't expect to be driving the car that the last is
Yeah.
driving. And so if you don't have it now, you are pressured to go and borrow a car. And I think that's where the problem is, where people forget that even if you are taking inspiration, remember that life is in stages.
Yeah.
And at every level, you have to grow to meet up to it. So at your beginning stages of your career, if you are in an environment working, I think just be vulnerable enough to voice out your challenges if you want to be mentored or you
Yeah.
want to learn quickly on the job. And that is where a lot of people fail because they lied right from their CVs. On the job, they are not even able to express their challenges because, hey, if I go and tell my manager that I can't do this, they'll say, about on your CV,
You said it.
you said it. But in my own journey, I've also come to, I think my journey is peculiar, and so it might not be a fit for everybody. But one of the things I've noticed is if you are very authentic and vulnerable to the right people, you easily rise in your career journey. For me, from the onset, I knew where I wanted to go, and I didn't want to fake to get there. And so, with people I was privileged to have as mentors, I make sure that if I don't know, I tell them that I don't know.
Yeah.
And so at that stages, they are seeing your potential. They might not see that the wow aspect of you, which you think that you have to show for them to get close to you. And as the last is saying, people are not stupid. They know it when you are faking it.
Yeah.
And you are going to waste their time because why should I waste time to mentor or to help someone who is faking it?
Yeah.
They are going nowhere. But from the onset, if people know that they see your potentials, oh, when I taught this person this is what they are doing, means when I help them or do rise, it's easy for you to grow. So I would say that please be real with yourself as much as possible. Even when other people are hailing you and you realize that you are lacking in something,
Admit it.
you just accept it.
Yeah.
But behind closed door, be doing the work.
Working on.
Because those same people helping you, when you go and flop, they are the same people who talk about it
Yeah.
on socials.
Yeah.
So try, if you want to build a very sustainable brand or a sustainable career, please just be real with yourself. And everybody can lie to you, but you can't lie to yourself. And so at every point in time, if people are hailing, I've been in places, I've been in rooms with certain people, and when people see me, I know they are putting me at a pedestal that I'm not there yet. I won't tell them that I'm not there yet because again, wisdom at play. But behind closed doors, I know that these are the things I'm supposed to work on. I don't say that because people think that I'm here, it means I'm already there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you are not there yourself. And so, in as much as people can hail you, and there are some people too that their talent put them ahead of their growth.
Mm.
And that's where it can get very, very difficult,
Mm.
where their talent easily push them in certain rooms, get them in certain circles. And so if you are not true to yourself, you feel like you've arrived.
Yeah.
Because I was ministering to people that, I mean, they are in presidential suit and things, so I think I'm there.
Yeah.
But in terms of wisdom, how your relationship, you know you are not there, but your
Yeah.
talent is taking you there.
Yeah.
And so you have to tell yourself that even though my talent is taking me there, I still have to do the
Yeah.
job behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really poignant, especially when you talk about the fact that, sometimes people, you just have to be humble enough to accept that, it's a step-by-step process. I'm here because maybe I had an opportunity, someone handheld me. Maybe it's also my talent. But then you need to recognize that you're not done yet. You're not finished yet. Yeah, that's a good way to summarize this. I want to take some questions from the audience. In fact, and then the online viewers, please, if you If you want to also share questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat or the comment section, and we'll be happy to read them. There's a question online, but I would like to start from inside the audience. If there's anyone here, let me give you priority, and then I'll go to the online audience to pick their questions. Any questions? Anybody wants to ask a question? Looks like you want to raise your hand. Fantastic. So let me get the mic. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I'm Othniel. Before starting, I would like to thank you, the speaker, for this opportunity. We learn how personal branding can advance our career. But I would like to know something. First, what are the common mistakes people make when building their personal branding? And also, can personal branding influence our salary and job position?
Sweet questions. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
So the first question was about personal branding. What are those things that can influence your personal brand? And then the second one was about salaries. Whether if you put personal branding, how that can also even influence your earnings and your salaries. So I don't know which you would want. I don't take.
Okay, so yes, how you show up
Yeah,
in terms of how you dress
yeah,
also influences your personal branding. How you talk also influences your personal branding. How you show yourself online. The lassie made that point and explained into detail that there are certain things you wouldn't want to show to people, not because you are fake, but it's wisdom. And I remember, I think sometimes it hits you that you are growing when you go places and people say, "I know you." You, s- I remember I after our first event, Future of Work, I went for a tech event, and in the tech space, I'm known because of what I do and because I moderate conversations a lot. I'm known, but I went for this event and people were saying, "Oh, I saw you here. I know you there." And then I was telling my friend that, "Hey, I can't afford to eat anywhere now." Because then people's perceptions would actually be influenced in the way you carry yourself. So even amongst my friends, there are certain pictures that I'll tell them, please don't post it because I'm in. Not because I'm trying to restrict them, but I know people have this sort of perception about me, which out of wisdom, I wouldn't want to dilute. And sometimes it's respect for yourself. You wouldn't want people to disrespect you. Imagine people see you doing things anyhow, as the lassie said, maybe you went to this club, you went to Jam, and you are posting it on socials. People see you and don't take you serious. Oh, they start judging you. Oh, that guy, that lady. Oh, she was even at a club. Guys were grinding her and all those things. Meanwhile, you were just enjoying yourself. But people's perception about you have been changed. So that's something that we have to know. And most importantly, your content. Because you can dress very well, you can do all the things, but if your content is not solid, you are going nowhere.
fantastic. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Let the lassie, does someone's personal brand determine how much hits their bank account? Let me put it that literally.
That's a very good question. And from where I sit, going through the process in life, there are times when you get a job, 8 of you, and they are paying people differently. It's because of your personal brand. It's because what are you bringing on board? What value are you bringing? I remember when we joined SIC, we were hiding their pay slips because everybody's salary
Salary
was
was
different.
different. Yeah.
Because when I came in with a particular brand.
Yeah.
So during the negotiation, I was able to negotiate because of ABCD.
And
You have to
sell
pay
that
this
brand.
to me,
Yeah.
and because of that, my salary is different.
Yeah.
So I remember one of my colleagues seeing my salary, say, "Hey," and I said at that time, the sales executive, this is what you are receiving, almost close to that of a manager, in quotes,
Yeah.
because there were certain perks added to it.
Yeah.
So personal brands are very important in your career.
Yeah.
Whenever I join a company, if I even join a company, they are always nervous. Some they tell me I can't pay you.
Yeah.
Some I get in and they are wondering, are you going to stay?
Yeah.
Because they feel I'm bigger than the company.
Yeah.
I worked with a very reputable company some 7 years ago. When I joined, the CEO was not comfortable.
Yeah.
So who hired this guy?
Because
Because
yeah.
when I sit in the car, oh, are you comfortable with that car?
Yeah.
Because of my personal brand,
Mm.
because they knew the value I was bringing. So I always tell people that even when you're an organization, build a personal brand. Internally, how do your people see you? You're all managers, but how do they see you as a manager? Are you on time? How do you dress? How do you talk to people? Where are you? What are you doing? All those things. It adds to your personal brand. And whether you like it or not, in every organization, that is a statement.
Yeah.
They will treat. I remember there are times when we go for a sales meeting and I didn't make the target, and my boss said, "Oh, the last thing," and someone, hey,
Yeah.
are you-"
Yeah.
because of the brand that the person has built,
Yeah.
you see the person sitting around and looking on their phones and all
Yeah.
those things. So I was smart enough. Whenever I go somewhere for prospecting, I'll send my boss a picture.
Yeah.
I'll send a report
Yeah.
before you even ask.
Yeah.
Before a meeting,
So
I'm
you can
already there.
communicate that you're working.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I painted the picture to him. On a Friday, I said, Charlie, boss, I went here, I met so and so, and I provide evidence. And it's part of the personal brand.
Yeah.
You have to be intentional in whatever you do.
Yeah.
And this world, if you're not intentional, you lose out.
Yeah.
Sometimes, let me tell you, the kind of you pray to God that, oh God, I want this kind of man. Oh God, I want this kind of woman. And you look in the mirror, are you that kind of man or woman that will attract that person? And God will say, you always pray. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to work on yourself. You want a particular job, but you've not prepped
You've not
yourself
prepped
for that
yourself.
job.
You've not branded
You're a
yourself.
manager and and you behave like, no. When I joined Ghana Telecom, at that time when you're working for Ghana Telecom, those institutions, that's the national service personnel. You go and buy watching. It's part of your job description. You go and buy kenke. You go and shop. Back in the day, we've all gone through. But I made up my mind that, Charlie, I won't do that work. And how did I do it? I attached myself to a serious managers and learned the job. So they called me deputy. I mean deputy manager. So whenever they are not around, they will call the boss. Oh, the last is around, and I'll do the job. So most people did not know I was a national service personnel because of the way I carry myself.
Yeah.
I was feeling, oh, Charlie, it was brand. And when it got to a time where they needed to recruit, I went for the interview. Nobody asked me, are you a national service? They were just asking me. And they were surprised, you're a national service person. Well, you got in the job already. Because the personal brand I built.
Yeah.
My friend will come and call me, Charlie, let's go and see please.
Yeah.
Go and buy a watch. The only person who send me will be the GM. And now he'll buy the food for me. That's why I'll go. Or even now I saw boss, make I go plus the driver. And I'll sit at the back. And I'll tip the driver side. And he also drive me and we vibe. So, I was building a perception, even at that time. Even now, you have to build a mindset where you find yourself. Be serious. Don't go and be joking.
Velasi, just to sorry to interrupt you, but again, you've just triggered something, and I'll come back to the audience. We're about wrapping up our conversation. So you've talked about personal branding, you've talked about some of the things that you've done, even in your experiences. Again, how do you make sure as a young person professionally building your career and all of that, how you ensure that personal branding don't conflict with what the right ethics work ethics are? Some people go a step further to build a brand, do some of the things that shouldn't be done. So there's a thin line between I'm trying to um, amplify who I am and I'm trying to be shady. So how do you do that? Let me hear from Akusia, then maybe Delasi, I can take your taste on that.
So that's in the organization you're
Yes.
working at. So one of the things I would say is, first off, you are there to work. But in at the early times of career, you have to be very strategic. I mean, the last he mentioned that he had actually joined the managers in so that when there's working. So one of the things I also notice is when at the early stage of your career, when you're at a place to work, please, for lack of a better word, be a people pleaser.
Yeah.
It has its negative side and positive side. But also make sure you are doing that with wisdom, being strategic. So make sure that when there's a job, be the one to say, I will do it,
I'll do it.
or I'll take it up. And that is how you are shaping people's perception about you. It will get to a point where your own colleagues will even get intimidated by you
Yeah.
because they notice that when there's an opportunity you are taking up, they can call you names. Oh, you dear, you want to be known. Yes, you want to be known because you want a promotion.
Yeah.
Because in corporate is wild. It's not about when it's time I'll get promoted. When it's time, the person that they see doing their job will be promoted.
Yeah.
And the person they like would be promoted. So sometimes you can be doing the job. Oh, me, I'm doing my duties. When I come out, do it and go. But if a manager doesn't see you helpful, that's helping him or her in their job, they don't consider you to be someone that they
Yeah.
might want to even speak for in rooms. So that's one of the things we have to know, that once you are starting off on that ladder, please make sure that you are killing yourself for the job and have a plan. There was a point in my career where, because my long-term goal is to work for myself, I had, should I say, a trajectory as to how long I want to stay in a company. So when you look at my CV, I've worked at so many places, but for just a year, 6 months, a year, 6 months. So at a point they were asking me, why are you leaving? I mean, when I'm going for interview, they go like, why don't you stay at a job? And I tell them, because when a company comes and they're paying me more, I'll leave. And it's because I knew what I wanted. And sometimes when you are delivering on the job and you know what you have, you know how to bargain. And so on the job, even when it's time for promotion, they are calling to ask, oh, how much would you want to take in your next position? You know what to say because you know you are delivering on the job. But if you go and you are just focused on just your job, oh, I just want to do my job and go, you might not go far in your career. Another thing you have to also know is, don't just be stuck to say, I'm working for this company and that's it. If there are skills that you can explore outside the company you are working with, I'll tell you to explore. Because sometimes what you do outside the organization is what counts for you. So they see that on a regular, you are speaking on panels. They know that they are not the ones giving you opportunity to speak. And so there's a form of respect that has been, like, they are called to you because they know already you know your stuff. And so when it's time for a promotion, and why do I keep saying promotion? Because when you're in a job, you have to be promoted.
Yeah.
It's where your money increases and all that. So when it's time for maybe an opportunity, even outside job, they realize that you, the person that you speak a lot outside, or you have a skill that you actually explore, you are the one that you be called. There have been instances where at work, they want me to do things because outside organization, they see that I sit on panels.
Yeah.
But at work, I deliberately not do certain things, not because I cannot do it, but I'm also protecting my value.
Yeah.
I realize that when I expose myself, they'll use me.
Yeah. And it would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So you just have to be strategic
Yeah.
and smart when it comes to your career.
Yeah.
That's why even when you are taking inspiration from people, you need to ask a lot of questions. Because what you see on socials is just like 20%.
Yeah.
What Delasi does to be Delasi, he won't say it on social.
Yeah. All right, great. Thank you so much, Akosia. Thank you. I think the last, if you can, in 1 minute, because we're running out of time.
I'm sorry, I just want to add to
Yeah,
that. It's very
but
important.
touch on my ethics.
I'll
What is
touch on it.
ethical? Yeah, in
Yes.
brand positioning. Yeah.
So I tell people that you need a lot of emotional intelligence wherever you find yourself. You know you have a mandate at a particular place. Make sure you achieve that mandate. And if you are smart enough, organizations love people who bring value. So, for example, if I work on an organization, what I tell them is that I'm going to bring my network as your prospect. So they are fine when I do programs like this, and they know that, oh, at least at the end of the program, we'll sell something or we'll promote the organization. That is being strategic. So, for example, I'm working with a bank and I'm going to speak at a place or have a program. I thought, oh, can you come on board so that we can make so and so amount of this, so that it should not be a problem. I've connected the two brands,
Yeah.
my personal brand and the organization, so that everybody know that I'm looking out for the organization as well. And when it happens like that, stakeholders, shareholders, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And in life, that's what you need to do. The truth of the matter is that it's not always about you; it's always about the next person. And even with your audience, if you make personal brand about you, or you look nice and your audience can't relate, you are in trouble.
Yeah.
So it means that you need to communicate using emotional intelligence, understand the needs of yourself and that of your
The environment. Yeah.
environment,
Yeah.
your audience,
Yeah.
and even your competitors.
Yeah.
Once you get that understanding, you don't move in a way that, oh, it's not about you. That's the truth of the matter. Nobody cares about you.
Yeah.
That is why brands die and nobody remembers you.
Yeah.
But if you make your brand a people's brand, it take you personal.
Yeah.
One of the brands I love, whether we like it or not, is Shatawale.
Yeah.
He built that in the minds of his people.
Yeah.
And they love him. Daddy. They love him because he's built a brand for them.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. And that's the best way to build your personal brand
Mm.
for your audience
Mm.
and not about you.
Mm.
And also, what we also do when we are building a brand is we lose ourselves. We want to satisfy other people. In the process, we get lost. And the truth of the matter is that when you get lost, that audience will desert you.
Yeah.
So remember, while building a brand, apply emotional intelligence and growth mindset.
Thank you
Very
so
important.
much. Thank you so much, Delasi. Thank you. So, audience, can we give speakers a round of applause? So I'm going to take two more questions. I'll read one from the online chat that we have, and then one more, maybe two more if there are and then we wrap up. So there's a question from the audience that says, for someone who is starting their professional journey, what's the one most important thing to focus on first when building a personal brand? The one most important thing. Should we start online presence or deep skill development?
So there's an option there.
Yeah, the person got
Okay.
two.
So I always tell people that the first thing is purpose. What is your purpose? Why are you building this personal brand? Where do you see yourself? Once you understand the purpose, then the next thing is that you build the skills to match it up. I tell people that the best personal brands are the people who are built behind the scenes, who have built themselves. Once you build yourself and you share what you're doing in the world will grab you. And when you're ready, you fly. But when you're on social media and you're just posting and there's no value, the day they'll call you to go and speak or to deliver, you'll be found wanting. And the truth of the matter is that this world is not forgiving. If you get certain platforms and you're not ready, that'll be the end of your story.
Yeah, yeah,
But it doesn't mean it's the end. But you know, enjoy that experience.
yeah.
So I tell young people that behind the scenes work, build yourself. How do you build yourself? Discover your purpose. Discover why are you here? Ask questions. How? Where? All those things will lead you to become that brand that survives time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Delasi. Is there a question from my audience in house?
Sorry, there's something. Please forgive me.
Yeah,
I always do this. I almost forgot. Turn to the person on your right and ask them what is on their mind. I'm curious what's on your mind. Ask the person on your left or your right what is on your mind. Did you get an answer? What is on their minds? You don't need to share with us. What's your mind? Is it brand? Is this personal brand? Is it Akosia?
All right. Can I get any more questions? Yes.
Thank you. My question is, how do you manage the conflicts between your personal brand and your the organization brand? Because sometimes when you come in, you already have a network, all right? You may have a network and people know you for certain skills you have delivered to them. Now you are working in an organization and sometimes they have conflicts that comes in and probably maybe you are shining, or you have a brand and a value that is beyond your company. How do you make, you have to hide yourself, you have to share it? Thank you.
Thank you. Akosia, if you can.
Okay, so hmm, this is I love your question because this is something that people usually experience. Myself, I do experience, but I think you have to act with some level of tact and strategy in a sense where you wouldn't want your organization to feel like you are not working and the fact that you are overshadowing them. So, in a case where you can also highlight your organization even on your socials by maybe through storytelling, how you execute your work, I think you should do that because then they see that you are bringing some form of focus to them. So, sometimes what I do is when I'm being called to speak and I'm on camera, I mean, I'll tell you after. But what I do is sometimes when I'm called to speak, not to go into details, when I'm called to speak, and it's in relation to what I do at work, I don't use my organization. I use the company I worked with, my role in that company.
Yeah.
And so even when I'm talking, I make sure I highlight what we do there.
Yeah.
So then I'm bringing attention to the company and not myself. Because you wouldn't want to be in the position where your HR or your top managers will be thinking that you are leveraging on the company's influence for yourself, because it can happen.
Yeah.
From the onset, they'll be excited that you've joined them. They see pictures, they see socials. Hey, today you are going here.
Yeah.
Someone is hailing you somewhere. Some people are calling you this, and then they start asking you certain questions. I've been in instances where my HR asking me, how do I work? Because she's constantly seeing me like at places and all that. But I think one of what you have to also do is make sure on your job you are delivering,
Yeah.
so that even when it gets to the point where they are trying to point holes as though whether you are working or not, they like there's nothing for
There's something to
to
show.
for them to think that you are not working. So that's what I'll say to it. But it's very dicey.
No, I think it's a very interesting perspective you've thrown to it. You want to add something? Yeah.
Yes, another fantastic point. And it's very important that you deliver. In this world, when you deliver, it puts you on a different level. Always remember, when you go beyond, it puts you on a different level. So whenever you find yourself in an organization, make sure everything happening around you, the end product is that you deliver. I had an experience where I joined a company. Before I joined the company, everything looked nice. Beautiful company, somewhere in airports, their buildings beautiful, nice cars and all. But when I joined them, everything about them was inverse to my beliefs. It was a very toxic environment. A lot of backbiting, people were hating on each other and all. And for somebody who is so positive, how am I going to survive in that environment? I said to myself, I'm going to try to change the culture. I'm going to try, but I'll not kill myself. So I started building small teams where we started having conversations, and even at board meetings, I'll bring up the conversation. It was working to a point, but unfortunately, it was too deep. Sometimes you should know the kind of battles we fight. The roots, it was too deep. So go to a point, I had a meeting with them that, you know what, you guys, this is the problem. I can't, it's not working for me. Sometimes you need your personal, you need to know what works for you and what does not work for you. Sometimes you stay and build a plan, an exit plan, but make sure you still deliver. So I left trying my best, and it was obvious I tried my best. And guess what? It didn't take too long. That company collapsed.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Delasi. Can we take the last question from the audience?
Okay,
The last question.
thank you so much. Thank you for the insight. My name is Christian. Well, I want to ask a question. My question is, with a strong, I don't want to say strong skills, but low confidence, low experience, even sometimes without no experience, what is the best way to become more visible and get more visible and create more opportunity in this 21st century. Thank you.
Want to answer that?
Okay, so I think you cannot rule confidence out when it comes to building personal brand and even showcasing what you have to deliver. Even the Bible says that we are all Christians, right? That do not throw away your confidence because you'll be greatly rewarded. That shows that confidence is something that you cannot leave out of your journey. But in the case where you have low confidence, I always say that maybe one of the things, if you are shy, let me start from very practical ways. If you are shy to attend events or even go places, just be dressing well. Sometimes all you need is a compliment. So if you are going somewhere, you are not so confident because you feel like I do not have what they have. So I mean, I'm not worthy to be there. Just dress well. All somebody needs to say is you look good. And trust me, you'll be so confident. Also, identify what is making you not confident and work on it. And also, if there are things that you can really do, amplify those things. So make sure your strength, you make sure that you are always showcasing your strength and you're also building your weakness. And that way, you know there's always something to deliver and you wouldn't be shy of. Yes.
I want to add, in the world we find ourselves, it is possible to develop yourself by investment. There are soft skills training, there are public speaking trainings.
Yeah.
Look out for those opportunities and invest. It's all about learning, getting somebody who is good at it to help you and teach you the way. I always tell people that the easiest way in this world is follow person way no road, because they'll cut most of the challenges you face because they've gone through it already. So for those who don't understand what I mean, I'm saying that connect with people who will show you the way. Sometimes don't be chisel in quotes. You know what chisel is? For the francophones here, stingy.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay just a little to get what do you call it? Knowledge and
Knowledge.
wisdom.
Yeah.
For some of us, I pay a lot of money to travel outside to meet people who can help me. That gives me a different level. Said I'm a certified John Maxwell Watts. I paid for it. Do you know how much I paid? At that time, the CD was 17 cities. So
Yeah.
when I'm coming to speak to you and you don't want to pay me, then we have a problem. When I give you 5 minutes of my time, that's money. Yes. So it means that it's important for you to invest in yourself. You know somebody who's doing well. Approach the person and say, "Oh, I want you to mentor me." But don't go and want free mentorship all the time. Sometimes free is good, but sometimes invest in the craft you want. If you want to speak well, look for somebody who knows how to speak well, who will show you the structure of how to speak. Sometimes we are afraid that we lack confidence. The reason why you lack confidence is that you lack the basic knowledge. I tell people, for example, public speaking, there are four structure. There's a structure, and I'll show you. If you pay, I'll show you. Even how to walk. People pay to walk. People pay to go to how to network.
Yeah.
It's a way to network. The way he came to me. He said, "Hi, how?" So now he's invested in this. So we connected.
Yeah.
When I met Akosia at the top, it was just spoke hi, the smile, we just connected, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because maybe you meet me and come in, a lot of people come to me and at the end of the day, I want your number, I want your number. At the end of the day, what I go choose my number? Hi, Mr. Delasi, I'm so and so. Okay, what's up? They tell me I'm so and so. Then it ends there. They don't know what else to say. Okay, how are you? Are you fine? How's your day? If you're lucky,
Yeah.
you have to learn it. You have to learn how to even send a text message. Oh, I met you at this program, and there's a way to, or you said something that really blew my mind. Some of you guys will go to ladies and you don't know how to talk. And you want to, there's some of big girls who you don't know how to yell.
So at this point, we want to know how to talk. So no, thank you so much, Akosia. Thank you, Delasi. I think audience, you agree with me that this has been a very interesting conversation. We don't want it to end, but the time is far gone. Um, but before we do that, my technology is dealing with me today, so maybe I have to do a bit of manual work with you guys. When we started, we had some polls. We talked about what was the most important skill for personal branding. Delasi talked about the cocktail of it, which is what builds into personal branding. Then there was a second one about why don't people express themselves or show their confidence. After all the conversations that you've heard from these two wonderful panelists, I would like opinions. I would like to seek the opinions of the audience as reflecting on today's insights. How prepared do you feel leaving this environment about how you can communicate your value to other people? How prepared or how confident do you think you feel about doing that? We would have had a poll. Actually, that is it up there. So if you can scan and find it, you can vote. But if you want to express yourself too, I'd be very glad to hear people's opinions on the question that is showing on the screen at the moment. Maybe one or two opinions in summary, under a minute, and then we will take the final words from our panelists, and we can do some bit of networking, take a few pictures, and you can go and brand your LinkedIn post. I know a lot of people are looking forward to doing that. So I'll just give it about a minute. Does anyone feel confident, want to personally brand themselves by taking this mic? Anyone? I'll start picking people. My personal brand is to call people's name. As the response is coming, okay, let me refresh and see if I can get responses here. Okay. Who'd like to speak? Yes, there's a hand.
Good evening. My name is Makunzi Marjorie Bernice, and first of all, I would like to thank you for this opportunity. It was very interesting. At first, I was going for personal branding as the most important things in all these items. But now I come to understand you have to match it with the other in terms as social connection, skill, and the rest. But I still consider it like important because you can have the skill. But if people don't know about you, about why you, what you value, what you do, if people don't have identity to connect to you, to identity to connect to you, how can they like book for your service to go to you? Like, so it's important, and I feel prepared. Like I know more about it, and I feel ready because I have some project about it, and it was very helpful for me to be here today. So I really thank you for everything.
Great. Anyone else? But I love how you connected the dots. You could see the trend, you could see the transition. Thank you so much for you guys have done an incredible job, to be honest. And I think people understand what branding is now and cocktail. That's what I'm taking. I might have a cocktail this weekend. It's Friday. So yeah. But I like what has come out of it. Let me just use this opportunity to give you the microphone in a minute. I know I've been saying a minute, but this time I mean it. A minute. I'll cut mics. Can you give us your last thoughts about personal branding and what people can take home?
So my final thoughts, or what I'm leaving with you, is that discover yourself. Ask yourself, who are you? Discover your purpose. Be intentional in whatever you do. Know the end game.
Mm,
The one thing that we normally don't talk about is failure. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do, failure will come.
yeah.
But it depends on how you see it. In your journey, you fall a number of times. By the time the determination is how you get up and how you rebrand yourself. That's why there's a word called rebranding.
Mm,
Whilst you're doing personal branding, remember, there's always the ability to rebrand. And that's the world we find ourselves in. What you want to show the world, you have the ability to show the world. Whatever you want to communicate to the world, you have the ability. But at the end of the day, know your purpose and know why you're here and know where you're going, and you'll be fine. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed the conversation. Reach out to me, but don't, no comments.
And just before Akusia gives her final remarks, the poll is there for you to see how today's conversation has gone. Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah.
Go the last year. Okay, so my final words is personal branding goes beyond your digital presence. It's your promise. So how you show up everywhere amongst your circle of friends on socials, you are communicating your personal branding. I mean, from even to this interaction with him, not like directly, I can tell some bits about him.
Mm,
So that's how deep personal branding
yeah.
is. Sometimes you communicate without knowing. That's why they go like even how you
Yeah.
dress how you want to be addressed. So in a case where you want to build a personal brand, please don't forget that you need to also work on yourself. And it's not all about the flashy posts you make and all that, but the content is also very important, which has to do with how you are building yourself up. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my two wonderful panelists. Please let's give it up to them. I know we're at the end of it, but don't leave yet. There's an opportunity to take a few pictures, which you need for your LinkedIn branding. Um, And then just a very important one, please, if you do not follow Yota, this is an opportunity to follow Yota on all our socials at Yota Rising on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X. Just key in the search bar at Yota Rising and you would find all the platforms you can follow. In fact, that's where you will get correct pictures. to download. So you have to follow us. When you follow us, you'll be able to get that at IOTA Rising on X, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You'll find us there. And the Skills Hub as well. Skills Hub by IOTA. You would find that I've used the opportunity to promote IOTA over the Skills Hub. But anyway, we are a twin business. So yes. Thank you so much. My name has been Nathan Analem. I've enjoyed moderating this conversation, and the personal brand is growing because I've spoken to you key experts. I'll hand this mic over to Eric Safro to come and take over and do a small exercise for one of our team members here as IOTA. So if you can support us, do that. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's give Eric a round of applause. Thank you all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our panelists have done wonderful. Please, another round of applause for them. Okay, so I know some people were caught up by traffic and work and came in a bit late. If you did come in late, don't worry. The conversation is on Facebook, and so you can catch the conversation. Or if you want to re-listen to it, because there were a lot of nuggets that we got, so you can go in there and then pick whatever you want from there as well.
Welcome to the Skills Hub co-working space. Let me show you around. First, let's sign in at the front desk. Remember, security is priority. Now that we have access, let's go in. Meet the Skills Hub associate here to make your experience exceptional. Check out our comfortable workstations and cozy seating areas. These shared workspaces are perfect for you and your team to work in collaborative harmony. Bored? We have just the thing, a mini library to refresh your mind and get your creative juices flowing. We also have private offices perfect for high-focused work. With your convenience in mind, we offer printing services to ensure you have everything you need for a productive day. Chill out and unwind between tasks at these comfortable and inviting seating areas. Have a special event coming up? Then don't look past this vibrant event space, complete with state-of-the-art sound system. This event space can be dynamically set up to suit any occasion. Lastly, our meeting room affords you a private and conducive environment to hold all your important meetings with the added choice of a smart TV and web camera. Not forgetting our high-speed internet, a standby power plant, and 24-hour security. The Skills Hub also offers special services and trainings including soft skills, curriculum development, digital skills, mentoring and coaching, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, job search skills, policy advocacy and engagement, youth sector development, among others. What are you waiting for? Come to the Skills Hub co-working space today.